about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go on this very hot and steamy Monday afternoon in the city. It is the 28th day of, what month is this? July. Actually, we'll be in August by the end of the week. 2025, 6 o'clock straight up, which means it is time for Real Talk Memphis. And a prelude before we get too far into this, for those of you who checked the show out on Facebook Live, I'm looking at myself right now. I told Lola, I said, I got a little sun thing going on here. I look like I'm about to blend into the background in terms of my skin. That means it's hot, ladies and gentlemen. It is. We are under an extreme heat warning, which means heat indices anywhere from 105 to 111, and that is very, very dangerous, which means that you do not need to be outside, your skin exposed to this heat for any great length of time, because it could do some tremendous damage to you health-wise. Watch out for yourself. Watch out for the seniors. Make sure they're cool and comfortable. Make sure that your children don't stay outside too long and be exposed to all of this heat. And, of course, watch out for your pets and things like that. We have a good show for you tonight. Welcome in. Come on in the house. Sit down, relax, get cool, get you a nice little drink, and I have some water here myself, but, relax and stay comfortable for the next hour. We have a nice show for you this evening. I will tell you this, the theme of the today's show is education. In one form or another is education, and all three of my guests have something to do with that. I will lay that out for you in just a minute. But there are many ways for you to get this fine piece of radio broadcasting. And, of course, for many of you right now, 91.7, we immediately follow DJ Lola. You can find us on 91.7 WYXR on the FM side, of course. You can find us on the WYXR app. We are live streaming the show tonight. And that fella that's on the screen looks like me, sounds like me. I guess it is me, but just a much darker version of me. So you'll be able to see us on Facebook Live. And, of course, when the show posts the next couple of days, we will be on YouTube. And as we are a podcast, once the show is posted, you will be able to find us wherever you like to find your favorite podcast, right? All y'all got different channels that you like to show, different shows. Well, make us part of that little group in your favorite podcast platforms. All right, in terms of the show tonight, we are going to be speaking with State Representative Torrey Harris, and he's actually one of the sponsors for a meeting that is happening right now, the County Commission, in reference to the state passing giving the County Commission the authority to move the Memphis and Shelby County School Board folks to the same election cycle, which would be 2026. Now, for those who were elected in 2024, this means that your time in office would be cut in half. So they're having a big meeting on that tonight, as a matter of fact, to decide whether or not the County Commission is going to vote to move in that direction, or who knows what could happen. When I was listening to the County Commission meeting on my way here, and it sounds like they might defer this. They're always pushing stuff back. So they might end up deferring this situation back a couple of weeks. We will find out what happens with that. Cardell Orrin is the executive director of Stand with Children. That youth organization that's always looking at creating policy and making better policy decisions based on our young people. He is going to talk with us a little bit about the organization And of course, what we just talked about a minute ago, and how he feels about this term limit situation, and possibly cutting the school board commissioners, some of them, at least their terms, in half. So he'll join me in just a couple of minutes. And a little bit later on, we're going to have Karen Harrell from Porter Leaf. Last week, Porter Leaf snatched I shouldn't say snatched, but they got the contract for a preschool from the Memphis and Shelby County schools to the tune of $30 million, which is a great big deal for Porter Leaf. But they're going to have a lot more people enrolled, and they need a lot of help in that regard too. So if you're a teacher and you're thinking about talking about dealing with preschool folks, you might want to listen into that interview a little bit later on. So that's a look at the guest list for this evening. And before we move forward, July is about wrapped up here. But we have a lot of birthdays to celebrate today, and I know a lot of these folks celebrating a birthday today. So what do you say we get to it? But I can't do that until I say, hit it, Bren.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday going out to the following folks. Regina Morrison Newman. That will be your Shelby County trustee. She's celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday to songstress Stephanie Bolton. Mishka Clay Bibbs is celebrating her birthday today. Valerie Person, a church member of mine, celebrating her birthday as well. Elaine Henderson. Hello, Elaine. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Clifton Johnson. To Jacqueline Denise, celebrating her birthday today. As is Carolyn Coffee Brown Banks. And Lola has a birthday of her own.
Happy birthday to my good friend Fat Mac. I enjoyed your party on yesterday. Thanks for having me.
Did you say Fat Max?
Fat Mac.
Fat Mac.
He's a local comedian.
Is he?
Yes.
You had a good time?
Had a great time.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Lola performed.
Absolutely. There you go.
And also happy birthday to my dear friend Star Keisha.
Star Keisha.
Yes. Make sure you go over to Another Day, Another Flight and cop something.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. All of those folks that are celebrating birthdays today, we hope that your day was filled with love and laughter, and we hope to be around you next year for your next trip around the sun. Celebrate, enjoy. Woohoo! Happy birthday to each and every one. Thanks, Bren. A couple of quick hits on the news and notes today. As I was saying a minute ago, the county commission is taking up the issue of moving the election cycle for school board members to next year to fall in line with the rest of the county election cycle. They're talking about that right now. And if that's the case, then there will be an election in 2026. And the new members, of course, who were elected in 2024 would have to find themselves up for re-election should they decide to do so next August. So one way or another, we will get a decision in reference to that as well. We are still waiting for a decision by a judge from an emergency injunction that was filed last week with Dr. Marie Fagans, who wants her termination voided, who wants back pay, and she wants to resume her seat as the superintendent of education because she says she has unfinished business in reference to that. So, yeah, a lot of things that are open right now. We're waiting to see what happens on the back end of it and how all of these things become resolved. One thing I will say about the school board issue, when Dr. Fagans was terminated last year in December, there was a lot of friction from the community. A lot of folks were very angry about what happened, and they said that the school board absolutely, without question, did not listen to anything they had to say. They made their decision. They moved forward. The people had a chance to speak. Apparently, it didn't do a whole lot because Dr. Fagans was indeed terminated. Now, the one thing about all of this is there were 4 or 5 school board members who, if the board, the county commission does move to shift the election perspective to the rest of the county next year, those 4 to 5 who were elected last year in 2024 are going to have to be up for re-election. Now, many of you who were very upset about what happened with Dr. Fagans said at those meetings, you used the word recall. Recall. We're going to recall you. We're going to get you out. We're going to move you along and for what you did. Well, if there indeed is an election for school board members next year, And these school board members who were short-sighted, who might be short-sighted, decide to run, this is your opportunity. This city and county don't do a real good job in terms of going to the polls. When you have an opportunity to make a difference, you should be able to do that by going to the polls. So if, of course, this is voted one way or another, well, then, you might have a chance to be able to do that. We'll have to watch that very carefully and see how all of that tracks. Prime time. Deion Sanders revealed today in a press conference with his medical staff that he's been dealing with some pretty serious medical issues. It was discovered that he had a tumor, a cancerous tumor, in his bladder. He had an operation to have his bladder removed, and they actually replaced it with another bladder. And the doctor said that the cancer is gone now. So we're very thankful that happened. And of course, his message to everybody is don't wait. Don't wait. Make sure that, in terms of your body, if there's some discomfort or something going on, make sure you get checked. And that's for all of you out there. Make sure you get checked and make sure that you keep up with things like that, because you never, ever, ever know, like he found out, how serious things could become. And before we get out of here real fast, I want Lola to come back to the mic. We talk about the fact that the federal government has cut a lot of programs in reference to the arts, and that of course covers WKNO, PBS stations, and a lot of radio stations across this country, community radio stations like ours, and we were affected as well. Now, we have funding for this year, but we lost funding for next year, 10%, and that equals for this station to an $84,000 loss. And Lola, this really is a big deal, and it's a chance for all of us who enjoy the programming here to do something about it.
Oh, it was on. I'm sorry. Yes, you guys can do something about it. You can go over to our beautiful website, WYXR.org, and we have this beautiful button that says donate, donate, donate. A little something can make a huge difference while we go through this. If you want to become a monthly sponsor, $20 a month is more than enough to help us get going. And we would appreciate the support if you enjoy what you hear in your ears.
This is a very serious situation. And again, it's not just us. If you've been paying attention to the news, the federal funding for many in the arts is billions of dollars.
Yes.
And the federal government is cutting all of those programs for whatever reason. But the back end of all of that is many places in this country, not just Memphis, but all over the country, and places in particular who have small rural stations who depend on news information and things like that, are in danger of being cut. So, we need your help here at WYXR. If we want to stay on the air, if you enjoy the programming, and for us as a station to continue to be immersed as much as we are in the community, Lola, I think that's a big deal as well.
It's a big deal. So definitely support us. If you listen to any other smaller stations, like I think Robbie was saying, there's a station in Ripley, Tennessee. Yeah. It's like 80% of their funding.
Yeah.
So
it's a big deal.
This is definitely a big deal. It really hurt us small local radio stations and broadcasting like PBS, which isn't as small. I mean, I grew up on it my whole entire life. Mm-hmm. Their funding was cut also. For, like Chip said, whatever reason, in this big crappy bill.
So we need your help, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoy what we do here at WYXR and some of the other stations out there, please dig deep and reach and help us out. Thank you, Lola. Appreciate that. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get into the broadcast. As I said at the top, this is all education themed. So pay close attention to what you hear tonight, and at the end of it, you'll make a summary, and we'll hopefully that we will provide the type of information that you are looking for. I'm Chip. You know who you are. Let's take a quick break. And I say I'm Chip, regardless of what you see on Facebook Live, if you're watching me on Facebook Live. I'm still me. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and get the show started. This is Real Talk Memphis. Don't go away. We will be right back.
If If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest? Or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Programming on WYXR is brought to you by a grant from Arts Memphis, who has invested $94 million into our local arts community to teach, uplift, unite, and engage Memphians of all ages and zip codes.
Did you know you could donate your vehicle and support WYXR at the same time? We offer free pickup and it's tax deductible. Go to cars.wyxr.org to donate your car today.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this very warm Monday evening in the city. Chip with you, and very glad that you are joining us for the ride this evening. As I said, this is going to be a kind of an education-themed show this evening, and my first guest is the executive director of a great organization that is dedicated to the future of our young people. You've heard of an organization called Stand With Children. Well, I am very happy to have their executive director joining me. His name is Cardell Orrin, and he's on with me right now. Cardell, it's great to see you, my friend. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be with you.
Well, I'm glad to have you with us. Today is an interesting day of consequence. Now, I did read a couple of posts from you on Facebook in reference to this meeting today that the county commissioners were having, and why they might be having it, and what are some of the reasons for it. And we're talking about term limits, of course, for school board members and moving them under the same election cycle. In a nutshell, I take it that you're not for this, but if you're not for it necessarily, tell us why.
Yeah, so I overall, I don't think this law that was passed had the best intentions possible and actually solved problems that we have. I think the one thing that it does is it provides for term limits for school board, which I think everybody, even school board members, agree with. Mm-hmm. What it does poorly is to shift the election cycle so that it takes away the staggered terms that we have for school board members and tries to put them all on the same ballot as the county commission races, which would be next year.
Right.
One, that potentially unconstitutionally abridges the elections, the terms of the people, the school board members who were elected last year. Two, that shifts us away from staggered terms. I believe staggered terms are good. I think the county commission and city council should be on staggered terms. That allows for some knowledge retention, some experience, some things to be on the school board without having it wholesale flip out potentially every 4 years with having them on the same ballot. Some have said this will save money. Representative Harris has said this at every time. It doesn't save money because we're still going to have elections in those off years. Some have said, well, we'll get better elections or better results from elections because we'll have higher turnout in those years. And that's not necessarily the case because Representative Harris, who passed this bill, and all the state representatives are elected in the very same election in August of last year as the school board members. So if we're saying we didn't get good results from the school board elections with low turnout, what are we saying about the state reps? I don't think they'd say that about themselves.
A lot of people would subscribe to the argument that this is really political in terms of, now you know as well as I do that when it comes to elections, we don't have a good record here in Memphis and Shelby County. We don't show up. I don't know why, but this happens every election cycle. We have these very low numbers for positions that seem to be so critical in reference to all of this. And I have heard the same arguments that you have just laid out there for a moment. But let me go back for a minute to, as I said earlier, the removal of Dr. Fagans from her position last year. And one of the things that was talked about from the people was that the will of the people was not served in all of that, and that they thought that however they could do it, they would have an opportunity to recall some of the members who they felt turned their back on this situation. Well, an election next year, even though it cuts off many of their terms in half, would be a good opportunity to be able to do that, no?
I mean, I don't think that we should have policy, political parameters set, go away from democracy because we disagree with the decisions of the people who are elected. That's what elections are for. So you're exactly right. This is meant to be punishment for those school board members and meant to be a de facto recall. It's meant to be a recall. If you want a recall, put in a recall provision and recall board members. Don't go along with State Senator Brent Taylor and the other people who want to just create more power and control and preemption on Memphis and Shelby County. This just widens the door for them. This goes into the state takeover. If they can do this to the school board, what stops them from doing it to the city council, the county commission? If you don't agree with the decisions that are made, that they can make within their lawful abilities for what they were elected for, whether you agree or not with the termination of Superintendent Fagans, that's why we have elections. That's not the way to go about restricting, having the state come in and make decisions that rule the voters out.
Well, you know, one of the things that you just said is, and that's still on the table, there are two bills that will be brought up when the legislature meets in January of next year in reference to some type of takeover or overseeing of the current school board members. Would you be happier, and I thought about this initially, and I'm going to have State Representative Torrey Harris, he comes on right after you, and talk about all of this, but would this not be better served in terms of what the people want if it was put on the ballot as a referendum to give them an opportunity? What do you think about that?
Sure, I think you can put it on the ballot as a referendum. I think, one of the challenges that we've seen in the past is that, again, it all matters about how we put it on the ballot. When on the city side, we passed staggered terms and moving city elections from odd year Octobers to even years during presidential races. And that was all that we passed that by referendum. And then the city council didn't like that because they didn't want more people coming out for elections. And they overturned it and went back and put something on the referendum. And voters again voted to take away what they had just voted for. So I do think that's a fairer way to do it. And then you battle it out in the court of public opinion and have voters go at it. I think that everybody agrees on term limits. Everybody agrees on recall. I think that it's solely a question of do you move away from what is best practice in terms of having staggered terms so that we can maintain some continuity on one of the most important bodies in our community.
I talked to a couple of the school board members who were elected in last year's election cycle, and one of them brought up to me that that not only is this not really fair to the community, this could be unconstitutional, and I think that she made it very clear that they would be seeking possible legal action in reference to all of this. Do you think that there's a case for that?
I mean, I certainly think so. I think that, that in our Constitution, our state Constitution, it says that you cannot take away basically the terms or cut short terms that people are elected to. And this seems to violate that. So Representative G.A. Hardaway at the county commission today presented and said that he had asked for an attorney general opinion on the unconstitutionality of this law. And so we will find out at least what that opinion is. And then the county commission can still do it. And then, we'll see in the courts what actually happens. I think that there are other options to get to the solutions. And the other thing that we need to come back to is that if the problem, as you stated, is a voter turnout, let's all get specifically focused on that and try to get higher voter turnout. So in the elections, when Representative Harris gets elected, we have a higher turnout. When we have the primaries for the county commission in May of next year, where the same low turnout as in last year's August election happens, let's make sure we get higher turnout in the May elections. let's solve the problems we actually have. Let's not create new problems and issues.
Let me ask you, as we are prepared to start a brand new school year, and of course today was the first day back to report for staff, faculty, and staff of the Memphis and Shelby County schools. The children will be back in class starting next Monday. In reference to your organization, Stand With Children, who is an extraordinarily great advocate for our young people, what do you want to see? You know, we're starting a brand new school year, and of course, we're starting out, unfortunately, here with a shortage of over 300 teachers. 300 teachers short when school starts in about a week. Well, what are you looking for as you look forward and move forward with your agenda at your organization?
So just a little correction, Chip, Stand For Children. Although we do stand.
I'm sorry,
with children.
you know what?
So.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, and I changed that somewhere. But I'm sorry. Stand For Children. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
But hey, we stand with children. We organize. We have a Youth Justice Action Coalition that actually has justice-involved youth who do their own advocacy.
Right.
So we definitely stand with children as well. So I'm looking. You know, I think in coming into the school year, they're coming in with a lot of challenges. I think that we saw going into the end of this last school year, of course, the shifts in leadership. We know from some of the reports that we had that we lost some of the gains that we were trending towards.
Right.
We had a lot of people let go from the district who were important around the structures that we need in place for teachers to be successful and for young people to have student achievement. So I think Interim Superintendent Richmond is bringing back some of those things. So that's encouraging, including, some of the interim assessments that were taken away. So I think that we're on, a more clear and stable trajectory than we had been. And clearly we have some of the same challenges. A teacher shortage, that's a nationwide issue. We have to identify new ways to identify teacher pathways and how we get more people into the profession and keep them there. Mm-hmm. In addition to the challenges around literacy and chronic absenteeism, there's some specific things that the district is working on. I know about that, are focused on literacy. I'm a part of the Strategic Partners for Literacy Community and District Partnership, where we're focused on what are the things that the district is doing. How do we push for more high dosage tutoring? How do we make sure that we're focused around literacy, the chronic absenteeism, the challenges around the other issues of math and career pathways? I think there are a lot of challenges and opportunities that, as a community, we've got to try to face together. These are the kind of things where we need to be setting up. Here's what our expectations are as a community. Here's what we want as a community. Here's what we communicate to the district administration, to the school board members, and here's the level that we hold them to, not based around, one or two decisions. I've disagreed with tons of decisions over the 20 years I've been involved in politics here. And so you got to pick and choose your battles and understand how we're all headed towards the same goal. How do we set up an agenda and hold our elected officials and our administration accountable to achievement for our students? That's what we all should be focused on.
Well, I tell you what, man, high hopes for another great school year. You mentioned some targets there that really need to be focused in on and addressed by not only our school board, but our superintendent of education as well. Cardell Orrin, ladies and gentlemen, he is the executive director of Stand For Children. My bad on that. And doing an amazing job. We'll keep a very close eye on what happens with the county commission one way or another as pertains to this school board. But Cardell, as always, thank you, my friend, for coming on the show. And I'll be checking with you during the school year for sure. No doubt about that.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Chip.
Take care, man. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thanks a lot. You take care.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's a bird's eye view of what is happening. There's a lot at stake. There really is. And we need to do a better job as a community, as a people, of being involved. We can't just talk about being involved with our kids and our kids need this and we need to do this and blah, blah, blah. We need to get our hands dirty and our feet, dirty. We need to get in this thing. And if you want to see change and if you want to create change, then you have to be involved and be a change maker. And that's just really the bottom line. And we'll find out later on. I happen to think that this whole deal tonight with whether they move this thing forward, I think they're going to defer it, to be honest with you. They may get an attorney general's opinion. But if it's a Republican House up there in Nashville and they get an attorney's opinion, what makes you think that this is going to turn out any other way? That's just Chip talking. Let me take another break. And when we come back, we will continue our conversation. We're going to speak with one of the men who helped to get this whole thing passed to where we are tonight. He is Torrey Harris. He's state representative. We'll do that right after this. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away. There's more to come.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Memphis Listening Lab proudly supports WYXR. They provide a curated collection of music and music history, a forum for music-related talks and performances, and a music education, appreciation, and experimentation space located in Crosstown Concourse. You can find out more information on their Instagram page at Memphis Listening Lab or on their website at memphislisteninglab.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you, and we were talking a couple of minutes ago with Cardell Orrin, the executive director of Stand for Children, and we were talking about the whole issue that the county commission is taking up this evening, which has to do with creating term limits for school board members and moving them, changing the election cycle from the odd to where all of the county votes, which would be next year. And that would cut at least 4 or 5 members. If this thing passes, that would cut at least 4 or 5 members' terms in half. Well, one of the authors of this bill in Nashville, who got us where we are tonight, joins us on the show. He is State Representative Torrey Harris. And Torrey, it's great to see you, my friend. Thanks for taking time to be on the show tonight. I appreciate it.
No, always glad to be here.
So you, along with Senator Brent Taylor, authored this bill last year in the State House. First of all, why do this? Why did you think it was important to change the parameters of all of this? And I know that we talk about voting and the number of people voting and some other things, but I'm interested to find out what is really behind all of this this effort, which was passed up there, and now we're trying to wait to see what happens here.
Yeah, definitely. And so with the legislation that ended up passing, which was House Bill 1383, Senate Bill 1336, with that legislation, where it came from, of course, is that every year I do my absolute best to make sure that I ask the community what it is that they want to see happen. Oftentimes, I'm sure you've probably seen it on my social media, through email, text, whatever it is. I send out communication to people asking them to give me opinions, thoughts, amendments, documents, whatever it is that they want to see take place. And overwhelmingly, I received a response in regards to something dealing with resetting how we structure our school board. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's how we got to this point now. And I think ultimately, once I got down to writing the legislation with the community, because there were so many individuals who had pushed for this legislation, whether in whole or in part. I mean, I got a lot of response from this. Luckily, our records are public records, so if anybody needs to pull all the emails that we receive and phone calls and communication around who wanted to see this happen, it was quite overwhelming. I ended up getting this piece of legislation over on the Senate side. I had to make sure I found someone who I felt like could actually pass. Our goal when we get legislation, we only get a certain amount throughout the year. And we want to make sure that you put legislation up that can pass. And there's only a couple individuals on the Senate side that I feel like could actually pass legislation of this magnitude at least. And so I wanted to make sure that I partnered with somebody that could do that.
Yeah.
And so in doing that, we basically, you pass it on one side and then the other person goes in and said, after you've already done all the work, and tries to pass it there themselves. So this is technically my legislation. So if I think there was some confusion and I think wordplay used by some of the political puns about how it's working with the Republicans or working with, and it's kind of odd, but this piece of legislation comes straight from the community, hands down. People actually stood up and spoke today who were in support of it.
Right.
So many people have talked to this. So
yeah.
So that's where we've started.
So in mentioning that, in terms of the county commission meeting, I think everybody doesn't have a problem with term limits. I think that's a universal, almost unanimous thing. But what do you say to the people that are saying that you created this? This is just political. This is just a more political theater and drama. And another question I have for you, one of your colleagues, G.A. Hardaway, at this meeting tonight, suggested that this go before the state, attorney, right? Attorney General, to weigh in on this one way or the other. What is your take on that?
Yeah. So going back to whether it's political related or not, absolutely not. Actually, the individuals who I guess feel they would be affected directly by their terms being cut, if this was actually something political, you think back to when I think back to November. So in November, shortly after their term or they had gotten put into office, we had to travel for a conference, and some of the new school board members pulled me and one of my other colleagues to the side and had a conversation about how they were wanting to get rid of the school superintendent, right? And at that point, you would have thought that I would have made it political, but it was not. And so it was more of a conversation at that point, and it's never been about on the political side of this. This is just, let's streamline it. Our city council is all on one. Our county commission, which is the funding arm, is all on one. We're streamlining how our elections actually happened. And to the point that one of the political puns had mentioned regarding how the voting turnout in the state elections is also low in the primaries. We're also on that same primary election with the school board, and that was in August of last year.
Right.
And when I look back at just my numbers alone, and for my district, I had 3,979 in voters turnout in August, but I had 17,000 people vote for me in the bigger election with the rest of the individuals on the ballot, which shows that when there's more interest on a ballot, more people want to actually turn out and show up. And so that is a huge difference in what maybe he was stating earlier to you. I think that with this legislation, the goal is that we didn't want the state to make decisions for us, right? That's what we've all been saying. We don't want the state to make decisions for us. There was a whole state intervention legislation that was on the books earlier this year.
Right.
We were trying to come up with little things to not have the state per se take over our school system. So instead, I wrote legislation that says that, and if you read it specifically at the very top, it says, notwithstanding another law to the contrary, a local legislative body for a county that has adopted a charter form of government may. And so instead of the state making these decisions, I put it to where it gave our county the options to have these three things. They can pick one, they can pick two, they can pick three. They don't have to pick all three of them.
Right.
They may require. That's all it gave. It gave our county the option, so that way our state stayed out of making these decisions.
Speaking of that, of course, both Representative White and Senator Brent Taylor both have proposals up, and you talked about the takeover, and you may be trying to provide options based on what you were saying in terms of your bill. But I mean, they both plan on bringing this up the first of the year, and in one way or another, they're looking at the board being basically overseen by somebody, not elected, but folks who are appointed. Maybe one, I think, has the county commission overseeing this process, and the other one has some appointed members to all of this. Based on what you just said a minute ago, I take it you're not for that. either one of those bills?
No. And so instead of us trying to make sure that we are creating other avenues for us to move our school system along, we are in a place where we are actually pushing them more to a reason why they want to go ahead and move forward. So next year will come, January will come, and it looks like we'll probably be having the same fight all over again this year that we had this year.
Yeah, this is, I mean, and you know, we're right at the precipice of school starting again. I mean, literally next week school starts, and this is for all of us. I think it becomes a bit confusing. I wanted to get your thought about this particular aspect of all of this in terms of the county commission and the decision that they will make one way or the other. Should this not be something, at least from your perspective, that you think might be put on a ballot as a referendum? If this is about people and about people's decision and about the voice of the citizen being heard, should they not be heard in that particular manner? I know this is not about your bill, but I'm asking your thought and your opinion about
No,
that.
that's a great question. And so I do agree that voters should be the ones making these decisions, right? And so when we proposed this bill was written by citizens. This has been supported and pushed by people in our community, not by elected officials per se. This has specifically been pushed by them. And so the goal would be that individuals, if they are able to put it on as a referendum, the timing of all of that, what the people were wanting was immediate response to something, right? And so the other option that was out there was recalls. And so we'll have a strong discussion in January about recalls. So but had we done a recall, had we moved legislation forward for school boards to have a recall option in January, I don't know if those individuals would still be sitting in those seats right now. So I've technically bought them time in many aspects. So putting it as a recall is another way to be able to buy some extra time for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, for many people, I think, we want the right to be a part of the conversation. And when I was listening in earlier to the county commission meeting, I heard people saying that, and as I mentioned earlier, I don't think there's no argument about the fact that term limits need to be established. But again, is it fair for people who were elected through a 4-year term to be cut in half in terms of that and have to make a decision whether they want to run again or not? But this is a form of recall. I mean, if this thing does pass by the county commission, this would be a form of recall, would it not, in terms of people having a right to vote up or down, yay or nay, one way or the other?
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's exactly what this is. I mean, if you look at I'm looking at Section 1, elections for the County Board of Education to be held at the same time and on the same election cycle as elections for members of the local legislative body for the county. If the county wanted to pass that part of it, then the county could do that. What we have to determine afterwards, or what we're still trying to figure out and we're working through right now, which is what the AG opinion will let us know more of, is if we can constitutionally do that. And if not, we'll just come back in January, correct it, and make sure that it's fixed so that way for the future it doesn't break any constitutionality. I think what we've ran into now is that it's the people versus electeds, and electeds are really strongly wanting to protect each other. And unfortunately, the way my setup is I have to go with what the voters want, like what the people ask for. And I have had a lot of response regarding this. And those not in favor of it, even if you go back and look at posts for individuals who on social media who have advocated against it, those who have liked it or commented are usually elected officials or those working in the political realm. But if you look at some other ones who are in favor of term limits and in favor of a staggered election, those individuals are just the regular voter. And we want to make sure that the voters' voices actually matter. I know that doesn't matter to some, but we've got to make sure that we are pushing for the voice of those who voted.
State Representative Torrey Harris, ladies and gentlemen. Torrey, thank you so much for taking time. I know you're out of town, and I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to come on and talk about this very important issue. We will be keeping an eye on it, and I'm sure you and I will be talking more down the road. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the view from the other side. And again, this all boils down to at the end of the day, this is going to boil down to people. If they decide to get a ruling from the Attorney General up there in Nashville, whether this is indeed constitutional or not, that's going to go a long way to decide exactly what happens in terms of these term limits and what happens in terms of the elections next year. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to continue the theme of education. Porter Leith got a whole bunch of money last week in terms of pre-K and, teaching our babies, at an early age. Porter Leith is a great organization, by the way. We're going to be talking with someone who can talk to us about this $30 million infusion they got and what they plan on doing with all of this. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't you dare go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from Halloran Center Presents, featuring the Memphis Songwriters Series hosted by Mark Egger Stewart. Mark and his musical guests take audiences on a journey behind the music, sharing personal stories and introducing new works. The season begins on Thursday, August 7th, with Jimbo Mathis, Tanya Dyson, and Jeremy Stanfill. More information at orpheum-memphis.com/HC-presents.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And as we get ready for another school year, we have an organization here who has been doing the work with our young folks for a very, very long time. And many of you have heard of Porter Leith. They recently announced that it's taking over the reins of Shelby County's Head Start services, and which is something that Memphis and Shelby County schools have for a very, very long time. But the $30 million+ award, the federal contract, was given to the fine folks at Porter Leith, and I have Karen Harrell. She is the Senior Vice President of Early Childhood Services for Porter Leith. Karen, it's great to see you. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you tonight.
Thank you for having me, Chip.
Listen, so congratulations. This is the big deal. This program was kind of overseen by Memphis and Shelby County Schools for a very long time, this Head Start program. And to understand, you all, the bidding process is open every year. You all submitted a bid and you all won this contract. First of all, as Senior VP, how surprised were you when you all got notification about all of this? Congratulations, too, by the way. That's a big deal.
Thank you so much, Chip. We were somewhat surprised. We've been in early childhood services, specifically early Head Start grantee since 1999.
Yeah.
And we were previously a Head Start delegate agency under Shelby County government, and then we partnered with the school district. So I think more surprised that we were able to receive the entire grant, but we were optimistic when we submitted the application, Chip, just because of our experience.
Yeah, you've been doing it for a long time, as you said. So now you have all of this money. Now you have slots available. Did I hear close to maybe over 2,000 slots, close to 3,000 slots? How many slots are available now for these youngsters?
It's actually 2,920 to be exact.
Pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. You did well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, that's quite a bit added to what you deal with on a daily basis now. And I would imagine now that the work starts like almost immediately in trying to fill those slots. But in order to fill those slots, you have to have somebody to be able to oversee and teach these young people. So you're doing a bit of a recruiting drive as well. Talk to us about that.
We are. So we're actually sponsoring a job fair, Chip, on this Friday, August 1st, from 10 to 4 o'clock in the morning. That job fair is specifically for anyone who previously worked for Head Start. So it doesn't matter how long ago, if you were with us 3 years ago, if you were with us 20 years ago and you want to come back home, we have a space for you. So that job fair will be held at 3400 Prescott Road, 38118 from 10 to 4 on this Friday.
So, and you're looking for how many people are you looking for?
Actually, we have to hire about 300 people.
Man, that's a lot of folks.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. And, so what are you hoping in terms of, and I know, please forgive the question. I know this is brand new. Y'all just got this and everybody's been working, trying to figure this whole thing out. But in terms of a timetable, how soon do you want to start bringing in children? How soon would you like to have an increased staff to be able to handle all of this? So you're going to be doing it staggered. I'm sure it's going to take some time to do all of this, I would imagine.
It is going to take a little time. However, I will say that once we submitted the application, Chip, we don't wait to the last minute. We already started planning. So at the point that we were notified, we actually had plans in place regarding the enrollment process. So we have several enrollment events for parents. We have one at Hooks Demick, which is taking place on this Wednesday and Thursday for any family or parent that's interested in enrolling in Head Start. That address is 4982 Night Honor Road, and it will be from 9 to 1 o'clock. We're asking parents to bring all copies of your documentation. So we have about 40 different child care partnership and charter schools that are actually doing this work with us. So we're not doing it alone. We have some schools that are actually ready to receive students as early as August 4th. So we're trying to get parents enrolled as quickly as possible with the target date of September 1st. So we will have some staggered entry depending on which location parents are interested in enrolling in.
So you're talking about a month, time. You said September 1st. So yeah, that gives us about 5 weeks, give or take, something in that vicinity, right? Yeah.
For some, yes, but some are ready to go like next week.
Some are ready. Yeah, this is a big deal. And provisionally speaking, like you said at the top, and I want to, because the history of Porter-Leaf goes back a long way, and you've done some amazing work, and we all have heard, and it seems like, and maybe you can tell me if I'm wrong, but increasingly so, we talk about giving our kids an early start, educationally speaking. And Head Start, of course, that's been around for a very long time. How important is it? You've been doing this for a while, but early childhood training and teaching, Head Start programs. How important is this for our babies to get an early start?
Early Head Start is very critical, Chip. We're fortunate now that we offer a continuum of services. So we have Early Head Start where children can actually start with us at 6 weeks old to age 3.
Wow.
And now we have Head Start for children ages 3 to 5. We're also in partnership with First State Memphis, who's leading the Pre-K for All initiative. So we're fortunate that we're able to offer families and children a continuum. It's vitally important for us to catch children as early as possible so that they can be developmentally appropriate or prepared for kindergarten as they finish early childhood services. So we're working with the entire family. Not only are we preparing children educationally, academically, but we're making sure that socially, emotionally they're prepared. We work with children who have mild, moderate, and severe disabilities.
Okay.
And then we're also working alongside the parents. So we're working with the entire family unit. And that's the benefit and the beauty of Head Start, because it's a comprehensive program that works with the entire family.
Yeah, no kidding. You talked about from 6 months up, and all of the everything that surrounds all of that. But one thing I heard you say was the importance of working with the whole family. Yeah, everybody has to have a partnership and a role in all of this, do they not?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have family service staff, which we're hiring a number. We have to hire about 70 plus family service workers, and they are the key to making sure that families are connected to community resources that are available in order to help them reach the goals that they've identified as they work through our program.
So before I let you get out of here, you talked a lot about a need and a lot about people who might be interested in finding out more. I would like to give you an opportunity to give all of the contact information, whatever people need to know who might be interested in being a part of all of this. The floor is yours.
I appreciate that. So first of all, you can call our main office at 901-577-2500 if you have any questions regarding Head Start. I do want to make sure I reiterate that the Head Start program, of which we're enrolling for now, is specifically for children ages 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
They can also visit us via our website at porterleaf.org/Head Start. So if they visit our website at the porterleaf.org/Head Start, then they can say enroll now, and they can actually select a partner site or a Porter Leaf site that they're interested in enrolling in. There's a pre-application available. They can upload documents that they're required. So therefore, when they come to the enrollment event, they've already completed part of that paperwork process.
And once again, on Friday, this coming Friday, you have a hiring event. I want everybody to hear that one more time, if you don't mind.
So our event specifically this Friday is from 10 to 4 at 3400 Prescott Road. If you're interested in positions we have available, they can visit porterleaf.org/Head Start. /careers. So therefore they can see what we have available. Beyond August 4th, after that, we will have job fairs every Wednesday and Friday, with the first one starting August 6th, and that will be from 2 to 6 p.m. So every career fair that we're offering is at our main location at 3400 Prescott Road.
Well, this is a big deal, really big deal. And congratulations to all of the fine folks, you and all of the fine folks at Porter Leaf for all of this. We know that it will be a very successful venture. We wish you nothing but the best. And thanks for coming on the show tonight. And tell your husband I said hello.
I sure will. Thank you, Chip.
All right, take care of yourself. Thank you so much for coming.
Bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Porter Leaf, man, doing big things. They have you looking for a job? And you like young folks and you like the preschool kids, this is an opportunity for you. Go to their website and find out more information. That wraps up this edition of Real Talk Memphis. Coming up next is Event Horizon with that up-and-coming superstar. Should I say? I'll just say, Bren is, he's becoming a thing now at 7:00 on Monday evening. So, Bren, as I always ask you, what's on the menu tonight on the Event Horizon broadcast?
Thank you for that. And I think tonight, if you've been checking it out for the past couple weeks, it's been a little electronic and a little rock oriented. So I might stick with that stuff. A couple new releases and some 90s work as well.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, and that's just in another minute or two. Bren will be on the mic from 7 to 8 p.m. Tonight. So check out Event Horizon, and as he plays us out, it's been a great show. Thank you so much for being a part of it. We appreciate you as always, and I love my team and I love my folks. So for all of us in Real Talk Memphis, as she slowly works her way over, for Lola, there she is, and for Bren, who you're going to be hearing in about a minute on his own show, I'm Chip. We really appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything that you do to help to make this show a success. If you like what we do, go out and tell somebody, for goodness sake. I'll try to lighten up between now and next week, but I doubt if that's going to work. Anyway, for all of us here, have a great week. Please be safe. Please be careful in this heat. And as always, watch out for yourself and watch out for other folks. And until next time, we are out. See you soon.
It's real talk. It's real talk.